Hey MJ traders and investors, it's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ sector review. Today is Tuesday, February 23rd. And in today's video, the stock of the day is going to be CGC. And we're going to try and get through this video a little faster today. I'm going to try a new format and make them a little bit quicker. So Canopy Growth filed a base shelf to sell up to $2 billion in securities. So we'll see if that has an impact on the stock tomorrow. Shout out to QCSMB and our group for sharing that. And also shout out to Patrick and our group sharing these discounts. You can check that out for the deals on Tilray, Afria, Zena, Hexo, Weed, Acreage. So you can check that out. Shout out to our members who shared that. So we'll take a look at some news articles on the day, and then we'll look at some charting. Namaste Technologies subsidiary Canmart signs national supply agreement with Hexo, so we can expect some new products on that platform the beginning of March. And also, they just signed deals with Oxley and the Green Organic Dutchman. And I also bought some shares in Namaste Technology today, looking for a potential bottom around 30 cents and some upside in the sector, and just looking to hold that for the long term for the next 3 to 5 years as they grow their platform to be one of the leaders in the growing distribution channel for cannabis in Canada. So we also saw that Koios has a new supermarket coming on board starting March 4th, selling the nootropic beverages. GTI raises another $56 million, selling shares at $35.50, so more dilution news. So on to the charting. CGC still in a daily downtrend, so that's the story here. We need to get the daily bounce underway, so what we need to do is we need to find an hourly higher low, which we have yet to do. And we need to break to a higher high, confirm an hourly uptrend, and then that will confirm that the daily bottom, temporary bottom is in, and that we can likely see a bounce, and we need to break the high of today tomorrow. And this is the same for all major names in the Canadian sector. But if we break the high of today tomorrow, we had finished with a hammer there. So bulls had a nice buy the dip here this morning, and just all day long, they absorbed that very, very well. And we need to break the high of today tomorrow to be absolutely confident that the daily bounce is underway. But I did have this on my watch list this morning. I mentioned in the community this morning to private members that I was watching CGC, was watching Hexo, a few other unrelated names to MJ, but just keeping it MJ related. I entered CGC looking for 4-hour oversold. So coming off a huge move, hundreds and hundreds of percent, we touched down on 4-hour oversold into the beginning of the pre-market and opening bell. So I started to scale in as we got to 4-hour oversold, and I knew because of the size of the drop and the size of the move that we just had, we likely weren't going to hit extreme levels like we did back in March or anything like that. So we've never really gotten that extreme on the 4-hour. And like I said, coming off all-time highs and all-time high levels, and just seeing this strength into this big of a pullback on really not a whole lot of reasoning, it's obviously going to be a big bounce when it happens, and I knew that it probably wasn't going to get overly extended. So I started to scale in once we got to 4-hour oversold, and then on the hourly, also gauging that, we got down to 31.45. I was playing off 30 support. So I was essentially going to risk $1.50 to make upwards of $3, $4, $5 plus, depending on how I had the setup, but I didn't swing any because we didn't change the hourly trend. So that was the story there. But we need to change those hourly trends tomorrow. And I think I started to fill in we had support there. I think I started filling around 33 and then 32s. I'd have to check my orders again, but I know I've averaged around somewhere around 32 or 33, and I didn't see the whole move, but I got the brunt of that move, and that's what matters. And I made about 5%. It jumped over 10% from the low of the day, but I made about just over 5% on that one. Made about 10% on Hexo. So I was happy with that, and I took those gains. And like I said, we didn't change the hourly trend and confirm hourly uptrends like SPY did, the S&P 500. So we need to see all these names do that tomorrow and get a big of a bounce as possible on the daily to change the daily trend. But we knew weekly consolidation was coming at some point, and we lost EMA 12, but ultimately bulls bought the dip, and we are seeing decreasing sell volume here on the way down. So just taking a look at the bull and bear list. So we have SNDL, Huge, Labs, OGI leading the decline, and High Tide and PCLO on the bull list. So again, a lot of names in daily downtrends. APHA not in a daily downtrend though. So standing out as one of the, if not the lead bull, and Hexo, honorary mention as well, lost support, confirmed a daily downtrend, but bulls bought the dip, and definitely closer, still holding over that support now. A little bit of a red flag that we lost it, but if we see the whole sector bounce tomorrow and SPY bounce tomorrow after having changed its hourly trend, then we could potentially see temporary bottoms on MJ here in the Canadian sector as well. But cautious of daily EMA 12 and 26 bear crosses. So CGC on the weekly, we closed above the 10-week moving average today. We'll want to see us close above that by the end of the week. Stochastic is extremely bearish at the moment, trending down in a hurry, and the MACD looking to cross bearish, but it hasn't happened yet. So keep an eye on those. On the weekly moving averages, those are a long way down at $25. On the daily, we did lose the 50-day moving average today, which is a bit of a red flag, but you can bet that a lot of people had stop levels there who've entered in the last few days, people playing off that level as well, and also sitting at 33.71, also the 100 sitting at 27.72. So if we do lose that tomorrow or into the week, potentially heading to the 100 down at 27.72. So another level to keep on watch. And we have the weekly VWAP sitting down at $29 in the $29 area as well, $29.46. So we'll wrap this up. MSOS still in a daily downtrend as well, but a nice dip buying there, and bulls bought the dip. So again, I bought some MSOS today at 46, filled in the upper 46s, and I sold near the end of the day, just looking to lock that in. We still hadn't changed the hourly trend. So again, SPY has, but we need to see MJ follow through on that as well, and I'm just remaining protective. But we knew weekly consolidation was coming at some point. So let me know in the comments below if you loaded up on this weekly consolidation. I also bought some BAM today around 82 cents. And I think that's it. Some N, Hexo, CGC. So the more names that change their daily and or their hourly, we'll start with the hourly trends, then the daily trends. Then we can be confident that the weekly higher lows are set on most of these names. But that's pretty much going to do it for me today. Again, let me know in the comments below if you are loading up on USMJ on these weekly consolidation patterns. Obviously, we're tracking SPY very, very closely. So in summary, just make sure that if you are trading MJ right now, you're watching the hourly trends, you're watching SPY, because we're very correlated. And if this is the market top, or we are on the brink of setting a top in the S&P 500 or the overall broader market, how's that going to affect MJ? How's that going to affect your portfolio? Are you hedging with SPY short, or just holding mostly cash? Are you trimming your positions? How are you accounting for that added risk in these times of uncertainty, and whether or not we are seeing these bottoms be set and we could be heading to new highs? That is certainly a possibility, but at this point we need to account for all angles and we need to develop a plan. So develop your plan now versus having to try and figure out in the heat of the moment and let emotions get the best of you. So thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily video in the MJ sector. We'll see you tomorrow for a daily market recap and another MJ video. Take care, everybody.